All right, great friends. Hey, it's Kaplan and crew. We come to you from the 7 Mile Casino Studios, 7milecasino.com. I can hear Browner giggling because you guys got to understand. We get to see all of your comments in our live YouTube chat while we're at these very brief commercial breaks. And dude, the live YouTube chat on the Kaplan and crew channel is on fire right now. All because I told that story about becoming the Cameo breakup guy. You need to break up with somebody, you hire me. I'll break up with them.
Fam, you are skipping over the breaking news, Alex. I know during the commercial break, nobody saw that people got up. I think you may have missed the most important question we've ever had in this chat.
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Wow. I did not see that because I had to get up because the gardener's here at the crib. I had to close the windows so we don't all hear the lawnmower. Then I had to go close the back door so that the dog don't attack the gardener, right? And then my girlfriend, who just is apparently now watching in the chat, she just posted a question in the live YouTube chat. Alex, you can put it back up on the screen here for a second. Do I do engagements on Cameo?
Hey, can you be doing engagement to yourself?
Can I pay myself to do an engagement?
Ooh, listen, Rachel. That's
for
the
yourself.
best question we ever asked on this show, and I asked great questions.
Yeah. Hey, listen, you guys know I told you the story. I told her that I told you guys the story. That 2 Saturdays ago, she and I went out for a very romantic lunch with one bottle of rosé. I was like crying like a little baby. I love you. I love you.
The best thing that ever happened to me.
You saved my life. I love you, girl.
Let's have another baby.
Whoa.
Oh man. My God. That's awesome. All right. Well, listen.
So you answer the question or not?
Do I do Sure, I'll do engagements. If I can do breakups, I might as well do engagements too. Like if somebody needs me on Cameo to go, hey girl, your boy here, he wants to get married. He down on a knee and I'm here to deliver the news. So what you say, girl? Like I can do that.
All right.
All right. All right. Alex, if you need me to do any cameos for you, just let me know. $17.50.
Okay. Thank you. I'll just have you do it on the show and just cut it myself for free.
That's great. All right, listen, let me go back into where we were. So I want to get this hour. I want to make sure we get into a bunch of NFL stories. I want to get into a lot of baseball stories, and we're going to get to all of it coming up. So here goes. Starting with the NFL. Yesterday, the Rams announced that Matthew Stafford has got a contract extension. They didn't really give a lot of detail. Here's what Matthew Stafford wanted. He wanted guaranteed money. Matthew Stafford had gotten his money, okay? This is the contract. We put it up on the screen for you. 4 years, $160 million deal. He's got 3 years left. His base salary this year is $31 million. The next year, 2025, $27 million base, $15 million guaranteed. But then the next year, his $26 million salary with no money guaranteed, which means that the Rams are theoretically preparing for life after Stafford after next year. But if you're Matthew Stafford and you look at Tom Brady and how long he played till 45, you look at Aaron Rodgers, who's going to play this year at 41, you look at LeBron James, who's still playing at 40 years old, and you're Stafford and you have taken a beating, but you're still playing at a really high level. Whether you go beyond 2025 is not what you're concerned about. You want guaranteed money now.
Up front.
Pay me.
Up front.
Right.
Because I don't think Matthew Stafford plays till 2026. Matthew Stafford was talking about retirement before last year.
This is true.
So that's another part of this equation. I don't think the Rams are ready for life after Matt Stafford right now. Trust me. I just watch receivers. Nobody wants Jimmy Garoppolo throwing them the football. And I don't know what Stetson Bennett is. I know he was fine at Georgia with the most stacked team ever. But I know that the Rams are not ready for life after Matthew Stafford. But I don't think life with Matthew Stafford goes beyond 2025. Personally.
First of all,
I think he's got this year, and if it goes well, maybe next year. Maybe.
Let's stop talking about Stetson Bennett because that's a non-factor. So we're going to just move on from him. I hope he gets better. They're going to draft a quarterback. They have to. And if you watch what they did in San Francisco with the last pick, if you trust Sean McVay enough, I think somewhere in between the first pick and the last pick, he can find a guy that can operate the offense at the level that Matthew Stafford did to keep them above water till they can figure everything out. I'm not giving him no guaranteed money in 2026. No, fam, can't do it. No.
Yeah, but I think that what
it has been already reported. He did not sign an extension.
Okay, so it's not an extension.
There's no extension.
Okay,
it's moving the money around.
It's a reworked money move.
Because here's the thing: if you look at those numbers, by the way, you can see that what Stafford is getting paid in his annual salary this year, $31 million. You look at Joe Burrow, $55 million. Trevor Lawrence, $55 million.
Hate the game. Hate the game, bruh. Hate the game. Don't hate the player. Because when he got his contract, he was one of them highest paid dudes. So now, and this is what I don't like about how NFL quarterback contracts work. The next guy up gets the big money. When it was his turn, he got the big money. So pipe down.
Yeah, but here's the thing. You are a guy with his credentials and you're looking at what you make versus what everybody else makes. I don't think that's hating the game. I think that's simply saying I have leverage right now, so I might as well get as much as I can. And by the way, here's the other part of Matthew Stafford. You got to remember, Matthew Stafford has always been, I always think, kind of a very team guy. And I say it like that because this guy puts his body on the line all the time.
I was about to say, because we know he can't remember his teammates' names.
Well, I mean, the guy put his body on the line for a really bad team. I mean, hey, we're 2-15, but I'm still out there getting all beat up. He got a wife in the background, and she likes to yap a lot publicly.
Too much.
And so you got to think that she's in the back going, oh, hell nah. You got to get your money. There ain't no way that Jared Goff is making $53 million and you're making $31 million. We got to get more guaranteed money. And you just look at that list. I mean, he's become the old guy of this crew. Burrow's young. Lawrence is young. Goff is younger. Herbert, much younger. Lamar Jackson, same deal. Jalen Hurts at $51 million. Kyler Murray's making $46 million to be on a bad team, although maybe they'll improve a little bit this year. Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson is going to make $46 million, and he hadn't done anything in 3 years. I mean, if I'm Stafford, I understand why he wants this money.
Hate the game. Hate the game. You can't then say that he's got leverage and then tell me Deshaun Watson's making too much money when Deshaun Watson got his money because of the leverage.
Well, what are you arguing? Because he already got what he wanted. The deal's done. McVay already said it's done. We just don't know the details. So what are we?
All I'm saying is he's a hater. He's a hater because you hate the game.
You're saying he's a hater because you think that he's comparing himself to other guys. I'm comparing him to other guys. I don't know if he is. I am.
Listen, he need to be comparing himself to backup quarterbacks in college.
Oh, geez. This guy. This freaking
guy.
What?
I didn't put that news out there.
What?
Huh?
What, Brown? I actually got what you said, Browner. Goff's wife told a story.
No, not Goff's wife.
Married?
I'm sorry, excuse me. Stafford's wife told a story that to make him essentially jealous in college, she broke up with him and started dating the backup quarterback.
What does that have to do with right now?
It doesn't have anything to do with it, but Browner referenced it, and I actually got it, and you didn't get it.
I'm so confused.
Yeah,
that's
all confusing. Right. That's confusing.
I thought we were talking about Jared Goff and Matt Stafford, and now we're talking about what?
Yeah, well, we were kind of, sort of.
Sweet.
Awesome. Anyway.
E-break.
I will be tomorrow at Rams training camp. I will bring back all kinds of show and tell for Friday's show. Okay, and maybe I'll bring back some show and intel for Friday's show.
And by the way, come back with can you break some news, LA Cap, and tell us the details of his new contract? Maybe
I'll ask
him.
Jay? I will ask him. I will totally ask him.
I know you're cool with KD over there. He's got the scoop.
Cool with Kevin Demoff, who's the CEO of the team. But now I got to say, I think me and Sean McVay are kind of tight now. Oh yeah.
How so?
I think it all happened when about a month ago, I hosted an event at Hollywood Park Casino where it was a Q&A with me, Sean McVay, and DeMarco Farr. And we put on a sit-down roundtable conversation with a whole bunch of Rams sponsor types and everything. And it was a real small invitation-only kind of thing. And I got to hang out with McVay beforehand. And he goes, hey, man, don't I have to get you 8 field passes? And I'm like, yes, I'm glad. He's got that memory. So he remembers the last time he was on the radio and I told him I needed 8 field passes for a game.
DeMar DeRozan now joins that team in Sacramento with the Kings. De'Aaron Fox, Domantas Sabonis, Devin Carter, who they drafted early, Keegan Murray as well. A Kings team, DRS, that has been a playoff contender.
Is it going to equate to a championship? Probably not. That's not the goal. Make your team better every offseason. The Kings definitely got better with that move here, Ben.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
Where are you at in terms of a starting lineup? What you want to see from Team USA?
I think he'll get guys involved, and then there's your lockdown defender at the point guard, the point of attack, right? I do like Curry. I would then go with Ant. I like Ant over Booker. I think if you look at the way the Canada game was, they looked kind of slow starting, and then they kind of got rolling.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
He talked about Major League Baseball and its rule, or actually its relationship with sports betting and gambling.
Integrity is the foremost concern, and a lot of people are questioning that given all the scandals, right? There's Mercado, there's Pat Hoberg, one of the best umpires in MLB, suspended right now. We don't exactly know what he did, but he's been disciplined, and he hasn't umpired a game this year.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
If this wind, like we have out of the Northwest, was here all week, it would be insane watching these guys play in it. But it's going to be a southwest wind, which makes it a little easier as far as the direction of the wind. The guys will have it a little bit of a break on the back nine. But it is such a fun golf course, one that I really do think tests every single aspect of your game.
Only on SportsGrid.
Great friends, it's Kaplan and crew with Grande and the Brown Man, and we come to you from the 7 Mile Casino Studios, 7milecasino.com. Hey, Alex, I want you to know, I finished episode 2 of Receiver.
Nice.
And I am loving Receiver. And by the way, I haven't gotten yet to the video that went viral about Davante Adams, where he's screaming at everybody on the sideline. He's like, bro, I got to get out of here. But I did get to episode 2 where Davante Adams gets hurt, kind of hurts his shoulder, and they take him into the back and they shoot him up with whatever medication it is. And then he comes back out and plays. But that was the game that they lost against the Chargers last year. And what they didn't really mention during Receiver is that the interception that was thrown at the end of the game that sealed the game for the Chargers over the Raiders was thrown by Aiden O'Connell, who I want to say I think may have come into the game because of an injury. I don't remember him starting the game. I could have that wrong. But I got to say I was pretty surprised, that there was no real talk about who threw the ball. So at that point, we don't know.
Because it's not called thrower. It's called receiver. So it's all about Davante.
Yeah. I saw episode 1.
It didn't matter. It didn't matter who was throwing to him last year. He was complaining the whole time. He didn't care if it was Jimmy, if it was Brian Hoyer, if it was Aiden O'Connell. Shoot, they could have, had Mark Davis throw passes. He still would have been complete. It didn't matter, He didn't care.
Well, he's
even trying to get Tom Brady out of retirement. Did you see that?
I did see that. I did see a was it a conversation with Shannon Sharp? Yeah.
Yeah. On whatever his podcast is called.
Club Shay Shay.
Yeah. He's like, I'll take 50-year-old Tom Brady right now.
Mm-hmm.
Does he not care that he has teammates that actually have to throw to him?
No. Watch receiver. No. Yeah. The answer is no.
Yeah. And I think
saw episode 1, so I'm making my way.
Yeah, because episode 1, you don't see Davante Adams or Justin Jefferson.
Nah. But St. Brown and the tight end and Debo.
George Kittle, yeah. Mm-hmm. I got to tell you guys something. I'm going to get to these receivers that are looking for deals in 1 second. I love Receiver. What I've seen through 2 episodes, I freaking think it's great. And I got to tell you something. Honestly, it's getting me and my mind ready for football season, which today is July 24th. And I want to say that the Hall of Fame game is on August 1st-ish. Does that sound right? So
around there.
I mean, here we go. I mean, training camp's in full swing and the NFL preseason about to kick off. Receivers doing it for me. I haven't yet gotten a chance to see any of the Hard Knocks offseason with the New York Giants. Alex, how far into that are you?
I caught up this morning, so through episode 4, and maybe it's because I think Hard Knocks has gone so stale the last few years in its traditional format. This off-season format has been the most intriguing, compelling, the best season of Hard Knocks that I can think of. It's not even close.
How many episodes are there? Do you know? Because I want to. There's only 4.
There's only 4 so far
for the whole series.
No, there's only 4 so far. I don't know how many there is in total.
Okay,
I know there's one next week because we just saw their draft process and the general manager of the Giants go through the entire meeting with Malik Neighbors, meeting with Marvin Harrison, meeting with all the quarterbacks, meeting with the owner, meeting with Brian Daboll, and just the access that the Giants have given us. I genuinely think we'll never see another season of off-season Hard Knocks because it's too much. We know everything. They literally were like, here's our draft board. Here's the conversations we're having. These are the trade talks. What happened with Saquon? Saquon did an interview yesterday about the things that we're now seeing. And now he's an Eagle. It's incredible television, man.
And by the way, I like Brian Daboll as a coach, bro. When you're interviewing somebody, please don't put your feet on the table.
Oh, he don't care. I love Brian Daboll. He is a little baby on the sidelines, but he is that guy everywhere. He does not care. That dude does not care. He don't matter who he's talking to. His feet are up on the table.
Did you like him going into this, or do you like him now that you're watching this?
Brian Daboll?
Yeah.
I like him now.
Okay, because
it's opposite of Devontae. I like Devontae so much less.
Yeah.
And I like Brian Daboll so much more.
I'm just going to say this. 2 episodes into receiver, and episode 2 is about Devontae Adams and Justin Jefferson. And I'll tell you this right now. At this stage of receiver, I actually like Devontae Adams. I haven't gotten to where he becomes super unlikable.
Yeah, so even Browner, spoiler alert, the day before the draft or the day of the draft, the owner's in there, the GM is in the office, and Daboll's in the office, and there's another guy. They're all wearing suits. They're getting ready for the draft. Brian Daboll's on the couch, feet are up. He don't care. He's the same guy everywhere. Respect.
Hey, so back to the Rams here for a quick second and Stafford. Let me ask you guys this question. And again, I'll be at Rams training camp tomorrow. I'll have a whole bunch of reports for you on Friday. Do you think the Rams are a playoff team? Because last year they shocked everybody. Nobody knew who Puka Nacua was. Nobody knew that Puka was going to become a star. No one knows for sure if Cooper Kupp is going to be able to stay healthy. You obviously know that Aaron Donald has retired, and they went into the draft, and they drafted those 2 kids from Florida State. And those guys are not replacements per se, but they're multiple bodies. Are the Rams a playoff team?
They're a playoff contender. I don't know if they're a playoff team because I don't know. I think there's a lot of fluctuation in the NFC. I think there could be some teams in the NFC North that make some noise unexpectedly or expectedly, depending on what you look at. I think the Niners will always be good. On the East, the Eagles are good. The Cowboys are a playoff team, probably. What are the Giants? I don't know. There's too much fluctuation, unknowns yet at this moment.
I don't think they'll be a playoff team because I think the Cardinals will be much, much better this year. I think the NFC North is going to take up 3 of those playoff spots. I just don't think there'll be enough room for them at the end of the day. So,
all right, here's the
NFC
win totals as projected. San Francisco at 11.5 wins. That seems pretty reasonable. I might actually play over on that. Rams at 8.5. I think I'm going to probably play over on that. I think they're probably a 9 to 10 win team. The Seahawks at 7.5. I'm going to maybe play under on that. And the Cardinals at 6.5. I could see them winning 7 games. So I might play over on that. It's our poll.
Can I give you a hot
today.
take?
Yeah, go ahead.
I completely disagree with the perception of the Cardinals, man. Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to be an all-pro receiver year 1. Kyler Murray is a great quarterback who has been hurt. So a upright Kyler Murray and a Marvin Harrison Jr. does things in that division.
We'll see. I don't know if Kyler Murray's a great quarterback. And then again, I'll always just preface it by saying, shout out and rest in peace to the late great John Clayton, who many years said it. He said it very vividly. Browner, you ain't know nothing about no quarterbacking in the NFL.
Congratulations to Devin has to be in the Hall of Fame.
Here's my hot take.
Yeah.
Niners don't make the playoffs this year.
Oh, stop. Come on.
What are you doing?
I think Trent Williams and Deebo Samuel showed you how fickle that team is. The moment they left the field, they were terrible.
Well, also, Christian McCaffrey didn't invite no black guys to his wedding, so you might be on to something.
Oh, come on. I don't know anything about that.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're gonna go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's gonna help me get the job done. There is not gonna be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
What he's doing on a 5-day basis, and when he pitches at that ballpark, there's one thing you notice: there's not one empty seat.
The excitement he's brought to that city, and the fact that fans are starting to come back, especially on the nights he pitches, I mean, it is so cool to see. It's so overdue, and you can't help but root for Pittsburgh.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
As of July 22nd, we start a new deal with a monster distribution platform called SportsGrid, and we'll be live every day on national radio on Sirius XM channel 159, and we will be live on their national television platform every day from 10 a.m. till noon.
Only on SportsGrid.
All right, great friends. You said we're going to give the receivers a little bit of time. We're going to get to it coming up. I also mentioned that we have our poll question today. This is Kaplan and Crew with Grande and the Brown Man. This segment is being brought to us by Sided. I want you to download the Sided app. You go onto your app store on Apple. Sided Debates is how you find it, but you can use the web version as well. It's app.sided.co, app.sided.co. Our poll question today, you can get to it by just clicking on the QR code on the screen. So check that out. And Alex, let's get to our poll question because we were talking about the Rams and we were talking about Stafford. Who's it coming from today?
Sportsnot.
All right.
How confident are you in the Rams' chances to make the playoffs this year?
All right. Sportsnot.com. SPORTSNAUT. Sportsnot.com. And how confident are you in the Rams' chances to make the playoffs this year? If you click on the QR code, for those of you that are watching, you can get to this poll. Hey, by the way, for everybody that yesterday joined Sided, downloaded the app and then joined, follow me. I will immediately follow you right back on the app. So you didn't vote on it. Let's see what happens when you vote. So I'm saying that I'm pretty confident. I actually think the Rams will make the playoffs this year. No one expected them to be a 10-win team last year. They were. How confident are you the Rams are going to make the playoffs? Slightly confident. And that is literally early voting. Everybody feels the same way, 100%.
Yep. Confident is a strong word.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially this time of the year in the NFL, right? As far as the receivers go, we've been talking about the series Receiver on Netflix. Show us the slide here of big name guys that want new contracts. Yeah.
Justin Jefferson got his deal. He's now the top paid non-quarterback in the NFL. But there are two guys in his same draft class that have put up, well, one bigger numbers and one slightly below numbers that are now holding out or holding in. CeeDee Lamb is not showing up to Cowboys training camp. In his career, 295 catches, 5,145 yards, 32 touchdowns, 3 rushing touchdowns. He's not showing up, subject to $40,000 fines every day he doesn't show. Brandon Ayuk of the 49ers is holding in the way Debo held in last year. So he's there. He's not playing or practicing. In his career, 269 catches, 3,931 yards, 25 catching touchdowns, and 2 rushing touchdowns. Justin Jefferson, 4 years, $140 million, $110 million guaranteed, highest paid non-quarterback.
I like Justin Jefferson. I'm watching receiver, and I didn't know that much about him. I really like him. I didn't realize that his 2 brothers had preceded him at LSU. One was a quarterback. What was the other brother? Do you recall? I don't remember what position he played. But neither of those guys, and his brother, I think his name was Jordan Jefferson. I think he was a quarterback at LSU. I don't know if he was a starter. I don't remember his career.
George.
What?
Daddy named George.
Is that what his dad's name is?
Mm-hmm.
No, it's
George
not.
Jefferson.
No, it's not. He ain't moving on up to the east side. No, he didn't move all the way up to the east side to a deluxe apartment in the sky.
You sure about that?
I'm not sure, to be honest with you. I'm not. But the
Okay.
Jeffersons was one of my, when I was a kid, my absolute favorite sitcom was the Jeffersons. Followed by Sanford and Son. What's so funny?
Nothing, man. What's wrong with that? I agreed. I
know.
said that's cool.
I mean, I like those sitcoms, you know?
Yeah.
Those were my shows. Those were my shows.
Mm.
So 110 million guaranteed for Justin Jefferson. Was that like relatively new? That deal? Like, I mean, how long ago did that happen?
Like a month or two ago.
Okay, got it. And so you look at those other guys. I mean, if I'm John Lynch and I'm the general manager of the 49ers, Brandon Ayuk, man,
No thanks.
we're not ready to pay you that kind of money.
Go get it somewhere else, brother.
You know?
Isn't that wild that you're saying that about Brandon Ayuk, who's been a solid, he's there almost every game, right, for the Niners, and he's putting up numbers. And we're saying that about Brandon Ayuk, and yet the Packers are so willingly being held hostage by Jordan Love just because he's a quarterback.
Well, but also, hold on one thing. Brandon Ayuk's a number 2, isn't he?
Is he?
What is Deebo
Here's the
Samuel,
problem.
though? Like, what is Deebo Samuel? Deebo Samuel's a hybrid, man.
I'm so glad this is the question, because when you have this many parts, when you have Brandon Ayuk, when you have George Kittle, when you have Deebo Samuel, when you have Christian McCaffrey, you have the quarterback. You're not sure who's who.
They have the quarterback.
Now, here we go. I will say you pay Christian McCaffrey. You pay the quarterback. I don't believe in him, but because he's been successful, you pay the quarterback. Everybody else, you can move. I'm not paying Brandon Ayuk.
Question for you, and it just popped in my head, and it's regarding the Niners and Jordan Love too. Like the Niners, I don't think they're going to pay Brandon Ayuk. I really don't. I
don't either.
I think they believe in their system. But speaking of their system, there's one quarterback holding out in Jordan Love, and there's one quarterback who's not holding out, and that's Brock Purdy.
I can't afford to hold out.
Who deserves to get paid more?
Oh, Jordan Love. No.
Why would Jordan Love deserve to be paid more than Brock Purdy? Jordan Love's a one-year starter who had a solid playoff run, whereas Brock Purdy has been a multi-year starter and has already led a team to a Super Bowl.
You know what time it is.
One of the many exciting things about joining Live was being able to come here and play in front of a Spanish crowd, especially on a level of event and level of competition that I hadn't really yet enjoyed, right? I've been able to play events in Spain.
Here in the beautiful Valderrama, which some say is the European Augusta, it's so special. There's so much history here. There's so much Spanish history here.
Well, it has so much history behind. It's only a 50 years old club, but so much has happened through the years. I mean, we had the Ryder Cup, we had World Gold Championships, and now we have Live.
1, 2, 3, 2, 1.
I feel like when there's this wind in this golf course is so difficult that it's equally stressful no matter when or where you're playing it. But it was fun. It's always fun to be back home and be with the home crowd. It's always a joy to have this many people supporting me all day. It's so much fun.
OMG, what did we just witness? Our first ever double playoff in Live Golf history. I am so pumped up right now.
So much happened on the last 5 minutes. I mean, it looked like it was going to the Crushers and Annie Barton winning, and all of a sudden then Abraham holding a chip, David Puig birdie Nate, then that little putt from Annie Barton on the last. I mean, it was great watching.
You know, it's really amazing to be able to do it in your home country, in front of my family, in front of so many friends, and on my favorite golf course. So it's obviously super nice.
All right, great friends. It's Kaplan and crew with Grande and the Brown Man. And as always, we come to you from the 7 Mile Casino Studios, 7milecasino.com. If you're in San Diego, it's the best place to play, man. It's 7 minutes south of downtown San Diego. There's no smoking. Amazing food at Sammy's Restaurant and Bar. TVs all over the casino where you can play, you can watch games. And I'm telling you, it's only 7 minutes south of downtown, and it's right off the freeway. You're going to love it. You're going to have a great time. And if you have any problems with gambling, you call 1-800-GAMBLER. But it's 7 Mile Casino, and their website is 7milecasino.com. All right, we were in the middle of a question. Who deserves to get paid? Brock Purdy, who shows up at 49ers camp, who's already led a team to a Super Bowl, or Jordan Love, who is not showing up at Packers camp, who has been a one-year starter and who led his team to the second round of the playoffs, and by the way, lost to Brock Purdy and the 49ers. Browner, who deserves to get paid?
Very simple answer for me. The answer to that question is Jordan Love. Easily, hands down, without question. The infrastructure for the San Francisco 49ers, as we were talking about before, you don't know who the real straw that's stirring that drink, because now you got to throw in the head coach as well. Because I think Kyle Shanahan is the most important part of that organization between him and John Lynch, because they put this thing together. Kyle Shanahan makes sure this thing operates. I think what he has shown is that there's a good chance that Brock Purdy is interchangeable. What he has shown is that Trent Williams and Christian McCaffrey are not interchangeable. You cannot just switch people in those positions, because that's when they struggled. So if you're asking me who do you pay, I'm paying Jordan Love because, one, he was a higher pick. Two, as he played more when he actually got on the field, he looked like a true, genuine star football player. Because I don't think their head coach is some superstar whiz kid. And so it's the talent of Jordan Love that got them a win on the road. Obviously, Cowboys playoff wins are suspect when you beat them. But I think that if I'm paying between the two, I'm paying Jordan Love because I believe he can do it, as I always say, on another team.
Yeah. See, I think that what you said during that was that Jordan Love was the higher draft pick, and that's why. And I think that there's a perception that when a guy is a first-round draft choice, he's really good. And when a guy is a late-round draft choice, and I'm not talking third round or fourth round, I'm talking Mr. Irrelevant, the very last pick of the draft, when that guy becomes a success, no one wants to give that guy credit. And the fact of the matter is that the Niners picked a guy in Lance who was a project player, and he got hurt. And then Purdy found himself available and in, and no one ever would have expected Brock Purdy, based on his draft position, to be a starter. When you're Mr. Irrelevant, you're going to have a hard time making the team. And if you do make the team, you're going to be lucky to be a third string quarterback. And if you happen to get lucky enough to have a career as a backup quarterback, good for you. No one would ever expect a 7th round draft choice, the last pick in the draft, to actually make a team, become a starter, and early in his career, lead them to the Super Bowl. So what I'm saying to you is that it's a perception game. Jordan Love's a first rounder. Purdy is a Mr. Irrelevant. You think that he should get paid and the other guy should not get paid based on draft position? I'm looking at results, and I think that everybody always says that, it's a system thing. Well, if it was a system thing, then why wasn't Trey Lance successful? If you're going to tell me because he got hurt, well, hey, listen, then give them credit for drafting a guy late in the draft.
The ultimate system? You always want to talk about how well ran they are. Aren't the Packers they haven't had a bad quarterback in my life? Aren't they the ultimate system?
Right, but we've seen that the organization, they're a well-run organization, so they've been successful with multiple coaches, and they've been successful with multiple quarterbacks. And this particular set that they're on now, coaching quarterbacks, how many? That's 30 years. Those 3 are 30
that's
years.
What I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. Aren't the Packers? You always want to bring down Brock Purdy because it's Kyle Shanahan's system.
Yes.
Well, isn't the Packers the ultimate system? That's my point. They have a system. They have a quarterback. They have you sit for a few years and then they slot you in. Every system's different, but if you're talking about system quarterback, aren't the Packers the ultimate example of that?
And by the way,
and Matt LaFleur has been there for like 5, 6, 7 years. He's one of the longest tenured coaches now.
And he's transitioned from the days of Aaron Rodgers into the days of Jordan Love. Listen, I'll give you another example.
By the way, my answer?
Yeah.
If Jordan Love becomes the highest paid quarterback in the NFL, Brock Purdy should as well. They're the same thing. They're the same thing. They are going to be good in that system. And if you take them out of that system, what are they? We'll never know because they ain't leaving. They're not leaving. Brock Purdy's not going anywhere. Jordan Love's not going anywhere. If Jordan Love becomes the highest paid quarterback in the NFL after what he did on one season, then why can't Brock Purdy do the exact same thing?
Based on 2 seasons.
The reason why I feel so strongly about Jordan Love is because the reason the evaluation picked him before Brock Purdy is because they're saying he's more athletic, because they're saying he has a stronger arm, the things that make a good quarterback good regardless of the system. Jordan Love was rated higher in that.
Yeah, I don't care about that because
but that was
Paxton Lynch. Paxton Lynch is a first-round quarterback. Johnny Manziel was a first-round quarterback. I mean, go over actually watch Hard Knocks episode 4. They literally, because they're debating, should we keep Daniel Jones or should we draft one of these guys in this year's draft? And they literally lay it out so beautifully, like on a graphic. Since 2014 of all the first-round quarterbacks and this rating that Browner is putting up on a pedestal, and you tell me how many of those guys have panned out.
How many 7-round picks pan out?
But that's my point. It doesn't matter.
Probably not that many.
It doesn't matter. I'm watching what's on the field, and what the field is telling me is that Brock Purdy has had an equal amount of success, but more than Jordan Love. I don't care about what this scout said and what this GM said. I'm watching the games.
Yeah. How many first-round picks on the field at quarterback? How many seventh-round picks on the field at quarterback?
Okay, I don't know the answer.
So it matters.
Do you have
why
the answer?
does it matter? But why does it matter?
It matters.
But why does it matter? Okay, but I have a question. The 49ers drafted a first-round quarterback, and 2 years into his career, they're like, we don't need you anymore. You know why? Because the 7th-round quarterback supplanted you. We didn't know that was going to happen. You didn't know that was going to happen. We drafted you. You were a project. It didn't work out. You can leave, and we're going to keep you. So what does it matter? Listen, I think this. Once you're drafted, you're drafted. And by the time you get to your next contract, which is where Jordan Love is and where Brock Purdy is, this is when you make your money. And the draft status no longer really means anything.
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything anymore. Now,
that wasn't the question. The question was, who would I pay? And I'm telling you why I would pay Jordan Love.
You're telling us that you would pay him because he was drafted higher. Go back to that graphic. I couldn't see it on the screen. Put that back up on the screen for a second.
Because the intangibles are better.
Well, that's what you said.
The skill set is better.
Well, and you're basing that on where they were drafted.
Yes.
Okay, but what about Tom Brady when nobody thought about drafting Tom Brady and Tom Brady became the greatest quarterback of all time? Alex, I can't see the numbers.
What about Peyton Manning?
Peyton Manning?
What about Cam Newton?
What about Cam Newton?
First-round pick. Lamar Jackson, first-round pick. Patrick Mahomes, first-round pick.
Mitchell Trubisky,
first-round pick.
Right.
Mitchell Trubisky,
Justin Fields.
Christian Ponder, Justin Fields.
Trash.
Yeah, but
go through it. It doesn't matter,
It's a 50-50 thing in first-round quarterbacks. It is purely 50-50.
Now, name the 7th-round quarterbacks.
Brock Purdy.
1.
So what does that mean, though?
It doesn't
what does
matter.
that mean?
Brock Purdy's not getting paid off being a 7th round.
So Jordan Love gets paid more because he was a first-rounder? That's it?
No, y'all trying to tell me it doesn't matter. Y'all trying to tell me it
doesn't matter.
It
doesn't. Not anymore.
I'm telling y'all it does because there are more. The representation of the first round is far greater than a representation of the 7th round.
So what does that mean? So a guy who's in the first round gets paid more? Let me ask you this question.
You know when it matters? You know when it genuinely matters? When you suck as a first-round quarterback because you'll get more chances.
I just have a quick
question.
If you're
a 7th-round quarterback and you suck, you're out.
Right.
But that's not what we're talking about.
But here's a question.
You get more chances because people see the more tools that you have. You're a 7th-round pick for a reason.
Okay, but I have a quick question for you. What if it was like way in Purdy's favor? Because I couldn't see those stats that you put up, Alex. If you could put them up again, I'd like to be able to see them. I mean, if the numbers far
put your
outweigh.
Glasses on, old man.
Well, no, but my glasses are for like up close reading. You know, I can't see that. Here, I'll try. Go ahead.
Get close to the screen.
Yeah,
put
them on.
You're gonna have to. I can't really do much else for
okay.
you.
All right. Take us through the numbers. I mean, are the numbers, do they favor Purdy significantly?
Depends what you rate. 17-4,
yes.
17-4 versus 9-9. 68% completion percentage versus 63. 5,600 passing yards versus 4,700. 44 passing touchdowns versus 35 passing touchdowns. Quarterback rating of 111 versus 94. I don't know. There you go.
So, I mean, like on paper, if you don't know what their draft status is, on paper, Brock Purdy's the better player. So you're suggesting that as of July 22nd, we start a new deal with a monster distribution platform called SportsGrid. And we'll be live every day on national radio on SiriusXM channel 159. And we will be live on their national television platform every day from 10 a.m. till noon.
Only on SportsGrid.
If this wind like we have out of the Northwest was here all week, it would be insane watching these guys play in it. But it's going to be a southwest wind, which makes it a little easier as far as the direction of the wind. The guys will have it a little bit of a break on the back nine. But it is such a fun golf course, one that I really do think tests every single aspect of your game.
Only on SportsGrid.
DeMar DeRozan now joins that team in Sacramento with the Kings. De'Aaron Fox, Domantas Sabonis, Devin Carter, who they drafted early, Keegan Murray as well. A Kings team, DRS, that has been a playoff contender.
Is it going to equate to a championship? Probably not. That's not the goal. Make your team better every offseason. The Kings definitely got better with that move here, Ben.
The early line. Only on SportsGrid.
You know, during the break, I'm having a quick conversation with this comedian. His name is Austin Nasso. I hope I'm pronouncing his last name right. I've never met the guy, but I contacted him on Instagram, and now he and I are emailing, and I'm trying to get this guy on the show because I'm telling you right now, this guy does the best Trump impression. So I'm going to actually stop. I'm making a hard stop right here on the whole debate about quarterbacks and who should and who shouldn't get paid. Because people are asking me, hey, when's this guy going to come on the show? Because you've mentioned him on the air before. Have you seen the video that I sent you of his Trump impression?
No.
No, we've been on air the whole time.
I know.
Right.
Can you play it? We can play it right here on the air.
Does he cuss?
I don't think so.
Can't take that chance.
I think we can take the chance.
I genuinely cannot take that chance. There is no dump button. I have no way. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
Wait, did you watch the video that you sent us?
I did, and I don't remember any cussing.
I just can't take that chance.
I don't think so.
Wow.
I don't think there's any cussing.
Okay. Okay.
We can play it tomorrow. It's okay. It doesn't have to be right now.
The dynamics have
Trust
shifted.
me, Trump ain't going anywhere. We got time. Are you really going to watch it to see if there's cussing right now?
Yeah, I'm watching it right now.
Is it that important to play
I
this
love it.
clip
He's
of
like, I love it.
Apparently
I
it
think
is.
he's hilarious. I think the guy's
our
great.
audience likes your Trump more than Austin.
My
No
Trump is
offense.
terrible compared to his.
Yes,
By
but that's
the
why people
way-
like it.
By the way.
Excuse me, President Trump, who should get paid more, Jordan Love or Brock Purdy?
Oh, you know the answer to that question.
Right, of course, Right.
Come on, man.
Come on.
Did you
Right.
see his wedding? So, Maga Bosa was at the wedding. What you mean? Of course.
Brock Purdy got
Of course
married?
you know who you paying. No. Well, he is married. Yes.
I'm asking Trump.
What was the, I think it was George Kittle and
You don't wanna do it.
receiver.
You don't want to do it.
I love Jordan Love, by the way. But I love Brock Purdy more. I think he deserves more money. He's got more wins.
There you go.
Yeah, more wins.
Well, there's a very viral video of Trump right now. I guess he went golfing with Bryson DeChambeau.
Oh, really?
And in this video, he hit an actual eagle. Like, it was documented. And everybody's like, yeah, he would have crushed Joe at golf.
Right.
It's like, oh, what are you shocked, dude? You shocked
He
that he
plays
would've beat-
all day, every
That's all
day.
he does.
That's literally all he does.
Really? So there's a video of him, like, is it a shot that he hits that goes in from like 150 yards away or something?
No, I guess I think it was like a par 4, and he drove it to the green or something.
Really?
And yeah,
Takes a
I didn't
lot of
I didn't
strength
watch the
to
full
drive it
video,
to the
but
green, by the way. A lot of
Did he have a
strength.
Band-Aid on his ear?
I don't know when the video was filmed.
Good question.
I don't know when the video was filmed.
Just asking.
Oh my God, hilarious. Okay, hey, you know what? We haven't this segment, by the way, Kaplan and crew from.
I will play
7
Austin in the
Sports Studios.
uncensored. Sorry, dude. How about that?
Okay. I'll tell you what. Okay.
Forgot about that.
Here's the deal. For everybody that's watching on SportsGrid, everybody who's listening on SportsGrid Radio, channel 159 on Sirius XM, we do an uncensored portion of the show. So if you just come to our YouTube channel, which is Kaplan and Crew on YouTube, you'll be able to join us for the uncensored version of the show.
YouTube.com/Kaplan and Crew.
YouTube.com/Kaplan and Crew. Okay. Very good. We haven't talked any baseball yet today.
Right.
I did mention to everybody yesterday I wasn't going to be watching the Padres Nationals because that game happens to be on the East Coast, so it's in the 3:00 hour. I'm
felt
not
so
around.
good yesterday, dude.
Yeah.
I had a realization when you said I'm not watching Padres National. I'm not doing it. I'm too busy. But I got hit by a car, like whatever, And I was like, dude, I haven't watched baseball in a very long time. The last time I watched a baseball game, I was at it the Friday before the All-Star break when the Padres got crushed by the Braves. That was the last time I watched a baseball game.
And for me, it was that Sunday right before the All-Star break when I went to see the Padres and the Braves.
So yesterday, I popped that thing on and I watched that thing. And I was like, man, it felt good, dude. It felt good. It's like getting back. Yeah, it was nice.
For me, it was a different situation because last night by about 9:00-ish, I was in a restaurant and I was in downtown LA and I could see the Dodgers and the Giants on the screen. And I was checking my phone because the Padres had already played the Nationals. So the Padres coming out of the break have won, I want to say, is it 3 of 4 or 4 of 5? I think it's 3 of 4.
3 of 4.
Yeah,
3 in a row.
And the Dodgers have won 5 in a row coming out of the break. And the Dodgers are about to see what happens when they get back their frontline pitcher, Tyler Glasnow, tonight, and they get back Kershaw tomorrow. And the Padres, Browner, which I know we disagreed about this yesterday, no shock. I'm like, you got to win this series against Washington. You got to clean up. You got to bank wins. Okay, well, now
something as I watched the game yesterday, the broadcast completely agreed with me and Scott. Mud kept talking about, like, these are the games you got to win. You got to win these types of games. He kept saying it, like, all broadcasts, like, these, you got to beat these teams. Remember last year, too, when the Padres went to Washington and they lost that series or even got swept, and Xander had that viral thing go. He's like, these guys aren't even playing for the playoffs and we're losing to them. Like, things that can come back and bite you. And the broadcast agreed with us. Sorry, baseball guy.
Those dudes think they should win every game. When is a game okay to lose if you ask those two? They work for the team. What are you
Dodgers
doing?
can probably lose a game.
What are you doing?
Well, I'm just saying, listen, when you're playing a team like Washington,
we can afford to drop this one.
No, but the point is that when you're playing against lesser teams, look, nobody expected the Padres to go into Cleveland and win 2 out of 3 based on what Cleveland had accomplished in the first half of the season. You're not necessarily.
So you could afford it to lose those games?
Well, I'm not saying you could afford to lose them. I'm saying that you're playing against a better team. Now, when you're playing against a lesser team, you've got to win these series. You've got to bank these wins because the next series up is going to be against Baltimore. And the likelihood of beating Baltimore 2 out of 3 on the road is probably not that high. So when you're facing a bad team like the Nationals, this is where you just need to bank some wins. That's all.
And can we also say that the Nationals are a bunch of crybabies and we want to beat them? Like their manager was like, we got it. We can't let that happen. We can't let Profar celebrate in front of us. We got to go hit him. And we got the catcher like putting his finger on his chest like he's some tough guy. Like, yeah, how about we just want to beat them? Is that cool?
Yeah. I mean,
okay, thank you.
Okay, that works. Okay, that works.
Thank you.
Just want to make sure.
Yeah.
Just want to make sure. Matter of fact, Browner, you had asked a question yesterday because, of course, you call Ohtani Ophony, and you're never impressed with anything that Ohtani does. You asked a question
gambler,
yesterday.
He shouldn't be playing.
So we did some research because you asked the question, what has Ohtani? When I say we, I mean the show, but I mean Alex. When we did some research of what Ohtani has done, what he's accomplished since Mookie Betts went out with injury, because that was your, sort of
my complaint.
Benchmark. Yeah,
that was my complaint against him.
Here's what Ohtani has accomplished without Mookie Betts. The Dodgers are 18-12 without him, so winning record, 6 games better than 500. And I don't know. I mean, are these statistics decent? I don't. You tell me, Browner. Hitting 324, 11 home runs, 27 RBIs. Scored 25 runs. Dodgers have a 6-game better record without Betts. I mean, is that okay? Is that okay for you?
Those are good numbers. This is what I asked for. This is what I want to see. This is what I want to see.
Okay, well, now you've seen it. All right, stick around. as of July 22nd, we start a new deal with a monster distribution platform called SportsGrid. And we'll be live every day on national radio on Sirius XM channel 159. And we will be live on their national television platform every day from 10 a.m. till noon.
Only on SportsGrid.
Where are you at in terms of a starting lineup? What you want to see from Team USA?
I think he'll get guys involved, and then there's your lockdown defender at the point guard, the point of attack, right? I do like Curry. I would then go with Ant. I like Ant over Booker. I think if you look at the way the Canada game was, they looked kind of slow starting, and then they kind of got rolling.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
He talked about Major League Baseball and its rule, or actually its relationship with sports betting and gambling.
Integrity is the foremost concern, and a lot of people are questioning that given all the scandals, right? There's Mercano, there's Pat Hoberg, one of the best umpires in MLB, suspended right now. We don't exactly know what he did, but he's been disciplined, and he hasn't umpired a game this year.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
The staple of consistency within the AFC North, that's the Pittsburgh Steelers. 17 years under Mike Tomlin, never a losing record, never less than 8 wins.
You add Patrick Queen there over from your division rival. You take a look at that offensive line, which does have some question marks, but still a decent wide receiving core that they have, a running game that has Najee Harris, and a quarterback that's been there, done that.
The early line. Only on SportsGrid.
All right, Grande, how about before we do shout-outs, let's start this segment with a highlight of the day, man, presented by Torrey Holistics, California Holistics, Oxnard Holistics, and Mammoth Holistics. If you are south down in Chula Vista, you go to California. If you are middle of San Diego County, you come up my way, you go to Torrey Holistics. If that doesn't work for you and you're up in Grande's Hood, the 805, Oxnard Holistics. And if you're going where I'm going next week, where I will be up in Mammoth, California, way north, up in the, the Sierra Nevada mountains, that's Mammoth Holistics. You need cannabis, sleep, pain, anxiety, recreation. You need cannabis products, Torrey Holistics. That's the home base.
This is from our friend. I'm switching it up completely. No one cares about Paul George. We're going to talk about Jim Harbaugh because training camp is here. Day one of the Chargers is here. And our friend Eric Williams from Fox Sports is there. And he just posted this picture of the football guy, and that is Jim Harbaugh. What else would you expect him to wear at training camp? But some black Levi's and some cleats.
Yikes.
He wears cleats, and they're Jordans.
Well, that's good.
So this is what Harbaugh wears for training camp practices. Black pants. You said they were black Levi's?
I'm just assuming. Doesn't he have a Levi's deal?
I don't know. Does he?
Also, Jim Harbaugh asked about being back on the practice field in the NFL, and of course, the most Harbaugh answer ever.
The way it feels, feels like New Year's Day. Feels like being born. Feels like coming out of the womb. It's like you're in there and it's comfortable and it's safe, and now you're out. You're born. The lights are on. It's bright. Got chaos. People looking at you. People talking at you, and just feels good to, have it happen.
Oh man, we're gonna have such a great year. We're gonna have such a great year with Harbaugh.
Oh my God. He's I got to tell you something. Jim Harbaugh is kind of looking like skinny.
His left forearm looked huge in that picture, though.
I know it's kind of weird because when he was way back in the day at the University of San Diego, he used to do this thing where like every day he would try and do one more push-up. So let's say he did 50 one day, then 51, then 52, then 50, whatever the case was. He's always in really good shape. I'd say Jim is probably now, he's got to be pushing 60 years old. Not that that's old at all. but kind of looking like, spending a lot of his left forearm does look gigantic.
Well, he is back in California. Maybe he's back on oat milk instead of regular milk.
I don't know, but it looks like he's got like a bruise on his left forearm. His left forearm looks all swollen compared to his right forearm.
I mean, maybe he's on that Los Angeles diet now, man. You never know.
I guess
so.
He's
shopping at Erewhon now.
All right, so there's your highlight of the day. Hey, tomorrow when I go to Rams camp, Browner, I know you don't like my blenders, my baby blue blenders, but I think these would look dope at Rams camp. Everybody be like, ooh, you got like Rams colored blenders,
Or you can go black blender and be smooth.
I think if you rock the primes, you'll get more compliments. And the ones that you just put on, you definitely get more comments.
Wait, you think the primes, I should rock the primes tomorrow?
The primes for compliments, the aqua blues for comments.
Oh, dude, these are, you know what? Maybe I'll bring them both and I'll do a little uniform.
About the red Aztec ones you got right there.
Red Aztec ones are pretty good too. I like these. I like these right here.
Those are the ones that I get probably the most compliments on.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Like I said, you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong. They got a lot of styles for all types of personalities, but the first ones I just wouldn't go with it.
Okay. Well, I just want to remind everybody, blenderseyewear.com. You save 20% when you use our code Kaplan, Kaplan, no matter where you are in the country, no matter where you're listening, no matter where you're watching. We got you all hooked up, 20% off blenders. They got great polarized lenses. They got super fashionable frames, and you're going to love them. Okay. Let's give some shout outs here, Grande. All right, here we go. Here's Affy listening from Aurora, Illinois, City of Lights, Wayne's World. Shout out, Affy619. Bakersfield, California, in the house. Great friends in Dallas. Fixing to dunk on a fool. Oh, Browner. Eric Evans going to dunk on a fool. What's up, EE?
Don't do that to yourself, Eric.
Dave Bro, Inland Empire, here, listening, watching. Aunt Esther. Oh, what's up, Aunt Esther? Aunt Esther out in Brea, California. That one, Homie's Garage. Shout out from Riverside, California. Okay, like that. This is cool. Alex, I think I'm going to leave this one to you, man.
Buenos dias, great friends from Aguascalientes, Mexico. Shout out Aguascalientes. That's where my dad's from.
Really?
Oh, nice.
Yep. I don't know. I don't think that's my dad. That would be weird, but it is. That's where he's from.
Okay. Aguascalientes.
Aguascalientes.
Okay.
AKA Beautiful. Hot Waters.
All right. I'm looking at some of the other members of our live chat right now.
By the way, my nephew live in Aurora. Shout out to Aurora.
Shout out to Aurora.
Aurora Borealis.
For everybody that is listening on Sirius XM channel 159, if you come to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Kaplan and Crew, if you just look up Kaplan and Crew on YouTube, you can come find us. When we get done here, which is going to be in about 10 seconds, we go into the uncensored portion of today's show. So come join us for the uncensored.
One of the many exciting things about joining Live was being able to come here and play in front of a Spanish crowd, especially on a level of event and level of competition that I hadn't really yet enjoyed. Right? I've been able to play events in Spain.
You're in the beautiful Valderrama, which some say is the European Augusta. It's so special. There's so much history here. There's so much Spanish history here.
Well, it has so much history behind. It's only a 50 years old club, but so much has happened through the years. I mean, we had the Ryder Cup, we had World Gold Championships, and now we have Live.
I feel like when this wind in this golf course is so difficult that it's equally stressful no matter when or where you're playing it. But it was fun. It's always fun to be back home and be with the home crowd. It's always a joy to have this many people supporting me all day. It's so much fun.
OMG, what did we just witness? Our first ever double playoff in Live Golf history. I am so pumped up right now.
So much happened on the last 5 minutes. I mean, it looked like it was going to the crushers and Annie Barton winning, and all of a sudden then Abraham holding a chip, David Puig birdie, then that little putt from Annie Barton on the last. I mean, it was great watching.
It's really amazing to be able to do it in your home country, in front of my family, in front of so many friends, and on my favorite golf course. So it's obviously super nice.